Yeah, sure, of course the mood's different when you win. Like anything in life, you get a win, the mood's different. But I still think the mood's good. Oh, I didn't play well enough. You make enough mistakes and don't execute to the level that you need to execute to win a game. So that's kind of how it happens.
You guys have obviously dealt with injuries in the past. As you and I both know, that's football, whatever. But you guys have not only been able to remain relevant, but yet remain contenders in the process. But I'm wondering if this time, just given the circumstances, do you find that they're any more challenging than in past years? Because you're 0-2, the defensive line, for my money anyways, at the moment is gutted. And I mean, there's other things that are piling up as well. So I'm just wondering if you find any more of a challenge this year than maybe past years when you guys have dealt with injuries.
Yeah, I don't know that any of our guys would look at that. I think what they see is, in the Ottawa game, they see 4 guys slugging it out on the defensive line and not coming off and playing, like animals, still running to the ball late in the game, doing everything they can. I think that's what our guys see. I don't think they look at it from the other perspective. Also, the guys that are going to get their opportunity, they don't look at being out there as being classified as gutted. They look at it as a great opportunity for them, and the vets around them look at it as good opportunities for these young guys to get in and learn.
We talked about the season before about just the defensive line, how young it was, but then you mentioned you kind of shrugged it off and said, well, Jake Thomas is there, so to paraphrase, like, everything's going to be okay kind of thing. Does it become, though, now that, like, where the line is at right now, like, does it become any more challenging to do what you want to do on the defensive side of the ball, or is it just a matter of we're going to continue doing what we're doing and you guys got to either sink or swim?
I think the first part is accurate. We're going to continue what we're doing. The idea of sink or swim is not anything that I think you would hear anybody here say. Our guys always learn best by teaching. They're always working with the young guys to get them up to speed. The coaching staff does a great job of putting guys in good positions. So we would never throw anybody out there and say, okay, good luck to you. Just doesn't work that way. I don't think it works that way on any pro team, right? So.
Sure. Thank you. Even Adam was saying 3 guys on defense going down in a game is unusual. This must feel a little different than other years.
I think that was unusual.
Yeah.
Sure. I think I'd have to look really hard to go back and find another game like that. I'm sure it's happened. I just don't remember when. But I also think that we're right there at the end with an opportunity and then another opportunity, So it's the CFL, right? The game's never over.
How important for the defense to start creating some turnovers more?
I mean, they'd like to. They had their opportunities, right? I think we maybe missed on a couple that could have been there. But, as they get into the groove with what JY's asking them to do, it'll come. The worst thing you can do is try and force the issue, right? You've got to stay within the system and recognize your opportunities in that system, right? So I still think they're trying to figure that out too.
How badly does this team need a win just to kind of, confidence, validation, all that kind of stuff?
It's week 3.
I know. That's why I ask. It might not be that desperate yet.
I don't think it's. Yeah, I don't think it really. It's not feeling like that. It's feeling like week 3. Yeah.
The mood's different
Good.
when you win, right?
Oh, yeah, sure. Of course, the mood's different when you win. Like anything in life, you get a win, the mood's different. But I still think the mood's good.
What will you do at kick return, or what's the plan there? Let the week of practice play it out, or?
I think Myron's done well for us.
I guess I'm referring to Chris Smith coming back now. So.
Yeah, I mean he's been hurt for a few weeks, so Chris Smith, we'll see what he can do.
Too soon to say who will be playing?
Yeah, I don't know that he'll play. Yeah.
And can you give us any update on Celestin or Miles or are those 2 for starters?
Yeah, 6 game.
Yeah.
Whether it's longer than that, I don't know yet.
Dietrich?
Shouldn't be long.
Hopeful for this week?
I am always hopeful.
Always are.
Always hopeful. Glad you recognize that.
And Dalton,
Yeah, should be good.
Brady?
We'll see.
Among the coaching staff, when you look at the offense, are you worried about it? Are you concerned? Are you confident? How do you
About
feel?
what?
The fact that
Specifically.
they've got 29 points in 2 games and
Am
they
I worried
averaged
about our coaching
32
staff?
last
I'm worried
season.
that they work too hard. I'm worried that I'm trying to make sure they take the time they need to stay fresh.
Yeah.
That's what, with these guys, what you worry about the most is that they actually get out of the building at some point in a day, and get some air.
Bring that air in and think about how do we get the offense going again?
That's not what I said.
I'm leading you to another place. That's right.
Yeah. No.
Not concerned.
No.
Not worried. I was
No.
just looking for a word that might describe it, but pass.
Process. Continue. Repeat the process. Right? Stick with it.
Is it past success gives you confidence it'll return? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think it's, if I just answer the question, it just goes left unsaid, right? And people start thinking that how you ask the question says it. We're just going along like every other week, This is a regular week for us. You certainly don't want guys gripping the stick too tight and searching for things that they don't need to search for, right? So in here, we feel good. We know what's going on. Yeah. Ed.
How you doing, by the way?
I'm good, Ed.
Okay.
Thanks.
I just wanted to ask you about the starts, because it's been, the 2 first quarters haven't been very good offensively. What's the key to kind of getting some traction on offense?
Maybe a little more focus, to be able to stay on the field. I don't think it's anything magical, right? You look at the execution in the first, like you said, the first bunch of plays, and it just maybe isn't quite up to snuff, right? So whether it's, I think it's more focused than anything, to get that, to make sure those plays go well. But you still want that same focus in every single play, right? Does it start sooner? I don't know. Maybe warm up a little different. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
Whatever these guys are, yeah,
Right.
they know, like they know whether they had their focus or not, and what it takes. So they just have to find that space back again.
You mentioned focus. I think after the game, 𝘽𝙤𝙤𝙧𝙚 used the word urgency, but just how do you can't manufacture that, right? How do you get better focus or urgency right out of the gate?
Yeah, I think that's mostly just being aware of, like, each individual player has to have a good understanding of where they're at, but you're right. I don't think you can manufacture urgency, right? I think it's there or it isn't, right?
The Damon Webb pass breakup on 2nd and goal, how did you see that play? And is that indicative of, how close, it's a game of inches, how close the difference can be between winning and losing?
Yeah, that was a great play. He made a great play, a great break. He ran a fair distance too to make that play. I see it like it's a great play that we'd like to have back so that we can be an inch better,